Hello. Well, welcome to the final Facebook Live from me, Cary, here at Two Big Girls Crafting of 2022. Where did the year go? Far too fast. The reason it's the last one is because next Monday is Boxing Day. So I will be going to my daughter's for the day, so I won't be out to play with you guys. I hope you're all well. I hope somebody will join me. If you join me while I'm live, please give me a thumbs up so I know that the video is working and the sound is working, because I forgot to tell you that I was going on today. I know it's a bit crazy here during Christmas. Well, actually it's pretty crazy here most days of the year. Let me just refresh my laptop to see if I can see if I'm going live. Hold on, hold your horses. Okay, so what are we going to do today? Well, today I thought I'd share with you 3 different ways to use ribbon on your cards that doesn't involve tying a bow or a knot. So shall we just crack on with it, and then if you're on catch up, say hi anyway. But for now, laptop, why won't you show me? Yes, it looks like I'm live, so I'm just going to go for it. Anyway, bear with as I take you and turn you round so you can see what I'm going to be playing with. Well, I'm actually going to be playing with quite a lot of ribbon, but I'm starting with a very simple card. I have pre-cut and done some bits today, simply because I wanted... Hi Kay, thank you for joining me. Simply because I wanted to not take up too much of your time this close to Christmas. Everything's going a little bit crazy. So my first tip, my first trick using ribbon. Do you ever cut your paper and realise it's not quite big enough? It's rather annoying. I don't want to put a piece, I don't want to cut it smaller. I want it to fit the front of my card. That was the idea. It was going to cover the front of my card, but it wasn't big enough. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm actually going to cut it up some more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, of course, this pattern paper has a pattern on the other side. It's double-sided. So I'm going to cut myself a piece off that is 3.5 centimetres wide, and I'm going to turn it over. I'm then going to place it onto a piece of card that is the same size as my card front, but I still have a gap down the middle. This is where our ribbon comes into play. I'm going to use the ribbon to cover up that seam, but I have a choice. I can't decide which piece looks nicer. This one or this one. The natural tones or the white that's got kind of a little bit of sparkle to it under these lights. It's a bit strange. I can't decide. What do you reckon, Kay? Natural or white? Well, off-white, natural white. Natural or off-white? Any suggestions? Nobody's saying anything to me today. So, which piece am I? I'm going to go with this one then. I want to create a layered look. So what I will do is I will place it so it's under there. Yes, I like that. Natural. Thank you, Kay. Glad you're with me on this. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually take the larger piece of pattern paper, and I'm going to adhere it all the way down onto my panel of cardstock. So it's covered right up to the edges. I do love that paper. It's unusual. I don't normally... Hi, Ali. I don't normally like pattern paper that's got a coloured background, but for that piece I do. So I'm going to then take my piece of natural ribbon and I'm going to use some tear and tape. And I'm going to run my tear and tape along that edge. Like that. You can use other tape, it doesn't really matter. But what I will do is work out how far over I want that to go, because I'm going to be using it to fill the gap between the two pieces to create a layered look. So let's take that off. Hang on 1 second, peeps. Hi, Becky. Yes, it's all right. My able assistant, otherwise known as Andrea, is peeling potatoes. Sorry, life is like that, isn't it? Sometimes you just have to peel potatoes. So my tape runs there. I want to cover that with enough. Oh, no, it's a nice thing about ribbon. It peels off nice. Oh, is it morning? I've just closed the curtains, Becky. It's wet and horrible here. I'm going to then take some more tear and tape. And I'm going to pop it across there. Oh, and I can take the cover off the tear and tape and fold that over to catch all those little ends, and do the same on the other side. How are you all? Are you all ready for Christmas? I'm not, but I'm not surprised. So we now have that nice line there, and we have the rest of our piece of paper to fit there. Do we go for the stripes, or do we go back to our original pattern? Do you know what? I really quite like that. What do you guys think? Stripes or flowers? Stripes or flowers? The decisions we have to make are so tricky, aren't they? Would it help if I showed you what I want to put on top of it? What I would like to put on it is I have this lovely square, and I fussy cut out some of these florals, and I've taken a sentiment, and what do you think? Stripes? Stripes it is then, thank you. We're going for stripes. Well, it does lighten it quite a lot, doesn't it, that? Or do we want them to go that way around? No, because when I cut it out, I cut off the edge. But I wasn't wasting them, so I'm just going to put them on like that and take that up to the edge and put that across there. Right, stripes. So we're back to our normal glue, but this time I'm going to lay my glue down on the card mat because I want it to be right up to the edge. And I'm going to not put any put them in a bowl of water. I'm not going to cut anything. I'm not going to stick it down with anything. Hi Emma, nice to see you again. So that's our mat. We're going to attach that to the front of our card base. I'm going to use some wet glue. Obviously other glues are available and work just as well. Just happens to be my favourite. And this time, top tip, when you're applying something that you want to cover the whole of your card front, find your seam first and line it up to that. We can always trim off the edges, but we can't trim off the fold because then it stops being a card. There we are. So how does that look? What do you think? So let's stick our flowers down. I might just go, I could go like that. No, I don't like that. I could go like that and then like that. Now, I could colour these flowers in the same petal pink as that. What do you think? Shall I colour the yes, I'm going to colour those flowers. I'm going to grab my stamping blends, which are alcohol markers. I'm going to put the lid on my glue first. And I'm just going to very gently, I keep mine on the windowsill so they get cold, so don't do that because they get a bit cold and they can lose some of their alcohol. It just kind of comes out of them. Well, no, not out of them as in out of the pen itself, but out of the ink, separates from the colour. So I'm just going to add a little bit of more colour where the lines. You see, this is the nice thing. You don't have to worry about where you're going to colour it because stamping, or in this case, the pattern paper, has already told us where it is. It's where the lines are. So we're just going to use those lines as our guide and go back in. I am using the same colour as the paper, which is petal pink, which is quite a soft peachy pink. I actually think petal pink is a bit of a misnomer. I think it's more peach than pink, but that could be my eyes. Now find the right lid for the pen. So I have coloured the flowers. Do I want to colour the leaves? Do I want my flowers to go that way? Do I want that to go in a diamond? Decisions. It's quite tricky, this card making, like. You have to think about it. I still quite like my square. And I could put my sentiment there. That's it. Now it doesn't look so bad, like I cut it off on purpose. I didn't cut it off on purpose, I promise. It kind of just came off accidentally. So I am going to use some 3D foam. I have some little ones here. These are called mini dimensionals. I do like a little one sometimes. Here we go. One there, and a big one for the flowers. 1 and 2. Now let's just confirm where that's going to go. How about we put it there and then I cover up that leaf with that. Yes, that's how that's going to work. This is definitely on the fly because I kind of knew what I wanted to do with it and then I changed my mind and then I tried again. So the projects I've got another 2 after this, will be equally as random. They were literally just thoughts and ideas that I had that I just came up with. So I'll place a 3D foam there to put my sentiment on with. So that's going to go there. And then I'm going to put one there because I'm going to place this onto some 3D foam as well. So I need to have a double height layer there. So I always do that one first so that I don't forget. Oh, pulled the cover off of that before I got to it. And again, we're not going to waste all these bits around the edges. We're going to cut them up and use them because we waste not, want not crafters. Well, I am. I think it's a waste to not use everything. There we go. I have one on the back there. That's what's causing me grief there. So, here we are. That's it. Take the covers off. And there is our first project, using ribbon without tying a bow. So we're going to line that up on the grid paper just so we have an idea of where we're going. Going to cover up that edge. And there we go. What do you think? I like it. I like the colours. I like the softness of it. It's for a sad card, but we all get to make these cards at some point, and sometimes it just has to be done. So why not do it nicely? So tip 1, paper not quite filling the page, put a strip of ribbon through it. Thank you, Becky. Okay, card idea number 2. Oh, this has got lots of little bits. We have a green card base. I love this granny apple green. It's one of my favourite colours. It's nice and bright and cheerful. And we are going to use some polished pink and some glittery organza, I can't get the words out now, organdy ribbon. Organdy. I can't talk. I have done some flowery bits and some pattern paper bits and other stuff, but this is the bit that we need to start with. What we're going to do is we're going to place our ribbon behind an aperture. So, let's grab a different pair of scissors. No, they seem a bit sticky. We'll try these ones. These will do the job nicely. I'm going to cut. This is a really good way of using up scraps of ribbon as well, because we can lay it out and work out what we want. It doesn't have to be uniform. Now, none of the pieces are going to be any bigger than that, so I can cut a couple that length and a couple that length, and we can play with those first. So this is the front. I've cut out my aperture. I am going to run my tape around the sides, all sides, because I'm just being thorough. You really don't need to do it from all sides. You just need to do it the sides where the ends are going to go. But I can't remember which way around that was, so I'm going with the more is better philosophy. So there we have it. So I am going to need that, that and that. So we're just going to be filling in the aperture with the lengths of ribbon. So all we have to do is make sure we're covering the spots and lining up. I'm using sheer ribbons, so obviously you're going to be able to see through them. So tip here, make sure that you get the ends right before you start snipping your bits off. That didn't come out quite the way it was supposed to, but you know what I mean. Don't snip any of your bits off, because that could be painful. Oh dear, what am I on to? I had a very busy morning. We had our last card and a cuppa of 2022 today, and it was great fun. But of course, it got a bit crazy, as it does. So, oh, I do need it on all 4 sides. I was right. Oh, wink of... Hi, Brenda. Wink of Stella. Oh, yes, I'll have to go back and do that in a moment, Becky. That would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Now, let's just get this last bit done, and then I'm going to go and colour my flowers in with Wink of Stella. Oh, no, I'll do my Wink of Stella at the end, because I might want to put Wink of Stella on something else as well. So let's get this last piece down. I do have just remembered something I've forgotten. I'm going to have to get... Oh, now see, that one didn't quite line up. So just peel it gently and the ribbon will come off. Andrea, could you get me some of the white shimmer? Oh, hang on, I might have some here. I'm just going in for some of the real red and white glimmer paper. Oh no, all I've got is real red. Can you see if we got any white glimmer paper over there, please? And there's my little scrappy bit from earlier. And just for that little tiny corner there, because we don't want it showing through. Oh, would help if I cut that piece off as well. So we turn it up. Oh, look at that sparkle. It's so pretty. We do have to trim off all these edges because we do not want them to show on this project. I have seen, and I have done it, where I had all the ends actually showing from the front, but for this project, it's not the look I was after. Oh, now, can you see that edge is quite there? So we're going to just snip these back a little bit. Really good crisp pair of snips will help you. No end. Always keep your scissors, ribbon scissors, separate from your everyday paper crafting if you can, because they blunt paper blunts scissors. Paper blunts scissors. So I've got a white frame. I'm going to place that on there, so I'm going to pop that on there before I go any further. Again, my good old trusty Tombow. You could do this any shape. You could cut a rectangle, you could punch a circle, whatever you like. A label shape would be nice. And then all I'm going to do is very carefully put my frame around the front edge, just to, no. We should have some for sparkly white stuff, but I can't find it. Oh dear. What am I going to use instead?
Colour sparkle paper.
No, I wanted white. Let's have a look, see what it looks like just on plain white. Oh, actually, it looks quite nice, don't you think? I like that. It's nice and sparkly. So we're going to put some 3D foam around the outside. Oh, wrong scissors. And I'm going to take that and line that all the way down there. That little bit can come off and go there. And this one is going to go down this edge. And one little bit off of there. And cut these up. Here we go. On that. On that. And we'll go a bit crazy with our 3D foam today, our dimensionals. Don't normally, but just because I can. So I have a square. Oh, let's close that off because we don't want that tipping everywhere. I would have been very nice to put a little bit of sparkle behind it, but I don't think so. So let's take these off. So this, you could use different colours, different textures of ribbons. They don't all have to be the same width. You can do them vertically, horizontally. The choice is yours. I've chosen to go diagonally purely because I like it. Why ever not? Why should I not do what I like? So there we have it. Let's see if I can get this frame onto the mat equally-ish. Take that out of the way. I have got some patterned paper, and that's also this gorgeous granny apple green colour. See, it was a Christmas one, so I'm using up my Christmas bits for non-Christmas projects. Thing goes down there like that. There we have it. And then we're going to place that straight onto our card base. And then that's going to go on there like that. Love that pop of colour on there. Now to go with this, I decided I thought it would be quite nice to have some flowers. So I have pre-cut and coloured some flowers to just place there. I think that should go there. Yes, yes, I like that. So let's place this, pop this down on here. I hope you're all ready for your celebrations over the next week or so, and that you enjoy your fat time with family. I'm taking that and I'm placing a piece of 3D foam on. I'll make sure it's around the right way because we don't want the words the wrong way around, do we? So I'm going to place that on there because it's going to go behind there like that. Yeah. So take off the backing, position the birthday message. Yeah, that'll do. And then keep layering up these flowers and leaves. The flowers and leaves are from a set called Framed Florets, which is coming in the January to April catalogue from Stampin' Up. But they are available at the moment if you wish to purchase them. If you're in the United Kingdom and would like to purchase products from Stampin' Up, we'd love to be your demonstrators. If you are a demonstrator already, why haven't you brought them? They're gorgeous. Okay, there we go. If you are in the UK and you don't have a demonstrator already and would like to see the upcoming mini catalogue, we'd love to send you one. So just message and you've just got it. It is gorgeous, isn't it, Becky? We'd love to send you one. Okay, what do you think? Can you see that sparkle and shine? It's so pretty. But I think maybe a little touch of wink. Let's do some Wink of Stella work, shall we? Do we all like a Wink of Stella? I do. I have lots because I use them lots. So I'll show you on this one first. All you need to do is gently go over where I've put the darker shade of the petal pink, just to add. Can you see it? Is it sparkling on the screen? I can't tell. But under my lights here, this is sparkling beautifully. Let's add a little on the flowers for this project, which I think the polished pink of these flowers works so beautifully with the granny apple green. And again, I'm just not going over everywhere, just adding it as a highlight to my project. Can you see the sparkle? Oh, look, there's a bit of sparkle. Thank you, Mummy. So let's put those two to one side. Now, this next project, I'm not sure how it's going to work out because I've done this with paper, but I've never done it with ribbon. And I thought, well, why can't I do it with ribbon? Looks a bit of a mess in there in the pack because it is a bit messy. I've got my card base and my mats and layers and lots of strings of ribbon and a few more bits as well. Beautiful. Yeah, Wink of Stella just is gorgeous. So, have you ever done any paper weaving? Well, I thought, well, if we can do paper weaving, why can't we weave with ribbon? So if you've never done paper weaving or anything like that before, my top tip is to start with a piece of cardstock with a line of double-sided tape on it and line up your downward stripes. There are proper words for this, warp and weft. Anybody know which way round they go? I can't remember. It's to do with when they make fabric, I know that, warp and weft. So you have, or weaving, you start off by laying down the vertical lines and then you weave through the horizontal lines. So I would start by lifting alternate strips up. So as you can see, that goes like that. Then when I come in with my next piece of ribbon, I use the alternate lift ups. So I did 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. This time I'm doing 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, or whatever the numbers are that you're using. So here we go. Oh, I've got a stray piece of ribbon there. I do recommend keep going in and being carefully pushing them back into the place that you want them to be, because well, you could have them nice and loose, but I don't want them nice and loose. I want them to be quite firmly in place. Do love these colours though. It's Pool Party, which is this one, Soft Seafoam and Grey Granite. I just think they look so pretty together. Emma, they won't be for you because they're not bold colours, and Emma likes her bold colours. But you did like Pool Party today. This is Pool Party ribbon, the one that I actually used on the project that I forgot to take with me. Yes, I know. So again, we're going in and we're weaving. We have got different widths here and different styles of ribbon, but the principle is the same, so it really doesn't matter. All that matters is that you go whatever way makes you happy. So this is not a rip. I have not gone symmetrical or anything else. I'm going to be going a little bit wacky, and so I'm going to put that one down next just because I can, really. I don't have to go in a particular pattern. I can be random. Now, I know a lot of you find random tricky, but it's worth practicing, I promise. Random can be good. Random can be good. Andrea helped my son put up the ceiling decorations in our house, and I gave her all these beautiful iridescent ceiling decorations. You know, the honeycomb ones that you open out and they have ball shapes and stars and things. They're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. She put them in lovely straight lines down the ceiling. What can I say? My last piece here. So again, we go over, under, over, under, over, under, and keep wiggling it across. It does get a bit fiddly when you get near the ends. But this is where we need to make sure that we've got everything pushed down and pulled up and put into the right place, because now we're going to take some of our trusty tear and tape, or whatever double-sided tape you choose to use, and we're going to place it right along those ends. We won't be seeing this bit, and of course we can always fiddle around with it and take it off and change it as we need it, but for now I'm going to lay that down like that. Oh, I know straight away that's in the wrong place, because look, that bit moved just as I was doing it. Of course it did. So I now have a piece of fabric. Hi Lynn! I hope your event went well today. So I have attached there to this piece of card. Do we prefer this side or this side? Does it really matter? Not a lot. So what I might do is just come along. I have already pre-cut a piece that I'm going to stick on there. This is my mat that I want to cover. So my piece is just big enough. So how am I going to attach it? Well, what I would like to use is a piece of, oh, hang on one second. It wasn't where I thought it was. I want to get a piece of double-sided adhesive sheet. And of course it's moved from where I wanted it to be and now it's gone elsewhere, but I found it. Okay, double-sided adhesive sheet. There are lots of brands out there. Of course I'm using Stampin' Up because that's my preferred brand. Okay, so we're going to put our ribbon to one side. We're going to take our piece and we're going to place it there. And actually, no, we're not. We're going to measure it. So it's 8 centimetres by 8 centimetres, this panel. I'm going to take my trusty trimmer and go 8 centimetres across by 8 centimetres again. And I'm going to peel. Can you see there is a line on one side? I'm going to peel off one side and I'm going to stick that onto my... Oh, I've got it on my fingers. It's everywhere. I got it everywhere. Hi, Lizzie. And then we're going to do this sensibly this time. We're going to do it like this, which is the way you should have done it in the first place, Cary. So we have now made this adhesive. Fingers crossed. I can take it off. Can you see the adhesive on there? Shiny, shiny. And I'm going to be brave and take it all off. I think I've got the glue. Yep, I'm taking the paper off, not the glue. That is always a good start. Get rid of that cover sheet. I'm going to bring this piece back in, making sure that my lines are where I want them, because after this one, this is a go for it or win or lose. This is it. So we've got it taped to each end. We've got our very heavily taped piece here, and we're going to lay it down on top there. So now it's stuck. What am I going to do next? Well, I need to make sure that these ends fold round, because you could cut them and have the frayed edges, but that's just not going to be the look I'm after. So I'm going to take my good old tear and tape, go round all these edges on all four sides, and we're going to start the game of folding all the bits over. Yes, this is quite heavy on the tear and tape, this project, but you know what? It's worth it. It's good stuff. So I'm going to take the cover off of all the pieces. Ooh, when I can get my fingernails in there. If you don't have fingernails, there is such a thing as a pokey tool or a take your pick tool, and that works really well too. Don't know why I keep forgetting to use it, but I do. I've only had it for, how long have we had them? 2 years? 3 years? 4 years? 5 years? I don't know. Time passes so swiftly. So I've taken all the tape off from there, and I'm going to start with this edge closest to me, and I'm literally just going to fold over those pieces so that I can always go back and check. No, you see, that's not straight, so I need to go back in. So I could actually, it might be easier if you were folding it over from the front, Cary. Yes, you see, that makes sense, doesn't it? That piece, yep. Well, that piece there needs to squidge across a bit. As I've said all along, when you've got tape or dry adhesive with ribbon, it does give you that little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so I've got all my pieces stuck down, and now I'm going to put another layer of tape across there just to put it in place, to keep it in place, and trim off, bring my snips in to trim off these long edges. I'm sure there are people out there who could do this far neater than I do, but you got me. And thank you for joining me, by the way. Should have said that earlier. Thank you all for joining me for these Facebook Lives. It's been a wonderful experience, and I'm so pleased that you guys turn up to see me playing. So I'm going to fold those over. This side has got some tape on it already, so that was quite handy. Let's give these a trim, because that was the end that we finished on. These ribbons are so pretty. The colours are soft and gentle, but still have a bit of oomph to them. You know, sometimes you get softly colours that they just seem to be a bit wishy-washy. Well, these ones have certainly got more to them than many. All right, I'm going to peel that bit back because I need to get that end wrapped over. And there. Let's go from this side again, because I want to loosen that off to make sure my edge is squared off. Looks a bit neater. There we go. Come on, get in there. So, there we have the start of our woven panel. In fact, we're going to take that piece out because we don't need it. There's a bit of fluffy bits there. We'll get rid of that. You can go back down there, missus. Let's trim these pieces. And again, we're going to use some more tear and tape just to hold that down. Those pieces in place. Go underneath that piece of tape there. That's it. And the final one is this. So over we go, nice and neat. Let's take it off this piece. Put that to one side. Ooh, I'm getting all stuck up here. Let's push that piece up. Now I'll tell you what, let's just peel that bit back from there so that that can be stuck together. Oh, this, see, I forgot it again. There it is. Let's fold those over. And there we go, the last ones, the last side. Oh, so that's got a big piece over it, so we'll get that snipped off because we need to get the other ends caught under there. It's not pretty on the back, is it? That's for sure. But you know what? Nobody's going to see the back because we're going to trim these all off. just across there, like that. Push those all to one side. Take the tapes off. Take this piece that we had from earlier. Put some more tape on here. And we're going to cover up the back because we like it to be tidies. Well, I do. Not that I'm a tidy freak, but just that I don't like raw edges and unfinished things, unless I'm purposefully doing it. Jill, on the other hand, hates unfinished edges, doesn't like distressed, and doesn't like anything like that. So, and she's much better. She is a seamstress, whereas I'm not. So she's probably having heart failure watching this, if she's watching it. So let's line that up on there, covering up those pieces and tucking in any stray edges that we have lying around. Come on, come on. You can do it, Cary. Come on. Get it back in there. And there we have it. We have a nice woven panel using our pretty ribbons. So what am I going to do with this? Well, I thought I'd keep it really simple. I'd make it the star of the show. I had that idea of layering it up like that, but you know what? I wonder what it would look like on there. What do you think? On the grey or on white? On the grey or on the white? Decisions. I do have... I don't know. Not sure now. What do we do? Do I go grey or do I go white? Actually, you know what? Kay says white, Ali says grey, Lynn says grey. So, that's 2 greys and 1 white. So I think we're going grey. I'm just moving those across there so they look right. But I don't like it being flat. Shall we try some embossing? Let's get the big boy out. Let's find an embossing folder. Which folder shall I play? Oh, I know what I have got just recently that I haven't used yet. Cascading ruffles. Shall we give it a bit of texture? Isn't that lovely? So, are we going to have our ruffles going across or down? We're going to go across. So, this is a 3D embossing folder. So, it's going to have quite a lot of texture on it. It requires the use of a specialist plate. And because it's 6 by 6, I need to get... Oh, this is going to fill the screen up. I do apologise, guys. This is my big stamp and emboss machine. And I will do this as quick as I can. I've got plate 1 and plate 4 with my 3D embossing folder. And it cranks through so easily. It is a joy. Comes through. Put that down there and I'll put it away later. And that can go there. Right, let's have a look. We've got a card back. We've got a mat. We've got lots of bits of paper. Squish them over to one side. Let's open this up. Look at that. Oh, that is luscious. I do like that. Isn't that nice? Now that I think looks a lot better with a bit of texture. But I could go that way and put that there. And then I have a label that I could put there. No. Shall I go vertical, portrait or landscape? Should I put a mat behind this? Should I make a little white mat to put... Oh, yes, I definitely got to do that. So let's remember this was 8 by 8. So I'm going to make that 8. 9 by 9, and we'll see how it looks. It is a very cool folder, isn't it? I think it looks lovely. Very happy with that. Glad I got it. Might be seeing it a lot more in upcoming projects. So we have a grey granite mat on a white card base with our, oh yes, look at that landscape. Ugh. And then we could have our sentiment going across there. Thank you, Kay. So let me get this stuck on. Because we put this backing on here, we can now just use our standard glue, adhesive, whatever you want on there. I'm going to map that onto there. That edge is annoying me because it's coming out. Let's push him back in. Another tip for this is it's very useful for poking things. Let's stick that down onto there, trying to get it in the centre as much as we can. And you know what? We have quite a few ladies at the moment who we craft with who are all visually impaired. So anything like this, if you're making a card for somebody who's visually impaired, ribbon adds texture. Texture from embossing folders, texture from ribbon is all good for those cards that you are sending to people who are visually impaired. Don't underestimate the value of a bit of texture. So we're now going to place that there. Should we place it to one side, left or right? Oh no, it's got to be that way around, sorry. Like that. I think that looks nice. I don't know about you, but I like it. This is one of the new an upcoming die set that goes with a lovely sentiment set, and I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure somebody will tell me as soon as I forget, because I've forgotten. Kay, can you remember? It goes with Something Fancy, which is a new stamp set. Okay, so I'm going to stamp. Got that stack there. I'm going to give it a little bit of a squishy because it's quite substantial. I've got this lovely shape. What sentiment am I going to put on it? Grateful for the everyday magic of you. There, like it. So I need a block. Am I going to stamp this in black on the pool party, or shall I heat emboss it in white? Decisions. I think I'm leaning towards the heat embossing. Tip, if you have a cling mounted stamp that doesn't have a label on the back, place your acrylic block on top of your grid paper and line up. It's not quite big enough. I know what I want. It's the other size block I need. Hang on. I've got one here somewhere. Here we go. That's better shape. Line your block up, the edge along the line, then line the words. As you look through, you can use the lines there. Double check it by stamping it directly onto your grid paper. So, do I stamp in grey or do I do white? I'm not going to go black. Black would be too hard. So we can use basic grey, or shall we go for white embossing powder? What do you think, guys? Any ideas? What would you like to see? Because I think it needs to have something that's going to stand out a bit on there. So, white embossing. Thank you, Lynn. That's what I needed to hear, was somebody to tell me what to do. So, heat embossing. I loves me some heat embossing. It's the alchemy of crafting. The alchemy of card making. We need some embossing powder. We need a embossing buddy, Versamark ink, and a heat tool. To start with, I'm going to pat all over with my anti-static bag. This is invaluable. That makes all the difference when you're making these projects. That and a good dirty ink pad. Now this is a glycerin ink pad, so it takes a long time to dry. So hi Limboa, Bowler, sorry. Tap, tap, tap. We got some good ink coverage of ink on that. Well, you can't see it because it's clear, but it glistens. It does glisten. Pop that there. I'm going to take my sentiment and I'm going to check that I've lined up my panel. I'm going to ask you to wish me luck. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can just about see. Can you just about see it? It's a watermark ink pad, so you wouldn't be able to see very much of it. Oh, excuse the telephone. And now we've got a piece of scrap paper underneath. I do have a tray and all the rest of it, but I still end up back with my paper, and I can see that it's on there. Now the other thing you need when you're doing this is a little soft brush, so you can brush off any little stray bits that have ordained to stick themselves there. You don't have to panic about doing that bit super fast because the Versamark ink pad does stay sticky for a long time, up to 24 hours. So what are we going to do next? We're going to take our heat tool and we are going to, I've got a pair of old tweezers that I'm going to hold that with there, and I'm going to heat my heat tool up. Now this might be noisy, it might not, I don't know quite what's going to happen, so wish me luck. And hopefully it's not too noisy for you. I always recommend heating up the heat tool before you put it near your project, and then we wait for the magic to happen. Can you see it changing? It's so clever. Doesn't take, it takes seconds, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Right, now where's our project gone? Now how pretty is that? We're going to use some more 3D and we're going to build it up. Make sure we got it round the right way. We're going to build it up on this side because this is quite thick. I mean, you've got 3 layers of cardstock there for starters, as well as the ribbon. We're going to have to, hopefully, 2 should be enough. Yes. And I'm going to put a little bit of tear and tape on there as well, just so that it holds and doesn't fall off, which is quite useful when you're making a project. So, here we are. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but I do have a bit of a smushy bit there. What can we put on the smushy bit? Well, I think we should go for my favourite things. A little bit of sparkle. I do like a bit of sparkle. And these iridescent rhinestones are my all-time favourites. So, oh look, I've just broken a nail. How annoying. I'll have to do something with that in a bit. So I'm going to place that one there. I'm going to go for one underneath it, just there, and a tiny little one, which I can get up in a moment, there as well. So we just have a little bit of sparkle there, or do you think we should use more? Do you think it needs anything else? What do you think, ladies? I love the sparkle. It's not sparkle, it's a soft shimmer from that grey granite ribbon, which is called, oh, look, in German, it's Schminders, but I'm not very good at that. Shimmer ribbon, it's called, in grey granite. So, thank you, Lynn. I think I have enjoyed making those very much. Thank you for giving me the inspiration to go ahead and play with ribbon. So we started off by a real practical card. We had a piece of paper that wasn't quite wide enough to fill the front of our card, so we put a strip of ribbon in there. I love Becky's idea of using the Winker Stella. It really does add something to it. And I know it's a sympathy card, but we all have to make them, sadly, sometimes. But that doesn't mean to say we can't make them nicely. So that's a nice, gentle card. We then went for the full-on bang bang. The lovely, gorgeous granny apple green with pops of polished pink and a little bit more sparkle there and sparkle there. Oh, I wonder if we could... No, we don't need any more sparkle. I know Lizzie would say we need more sparkle, but I think I'm quite happy with the amount of sparkle on there now. Nice best day card, that one. And then something a little bit different. Really heavily reliant upon texture. It's got textured background, the ribbon gives it texture, then we've got some gems that give off some light, as does the shimmery ribbon. Now, that's my 3 projects for today. I hope you've enjoyed them. Thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate your continued presence during my Facebook Lives. I was very, very nervous starting these, and I have fulfilled my goal by continuing for the year. I have done a year's worth of them now. Well, not quite. It won't be a year until January, but 11 months of Facebook Lives. So thank you for joining me in those. Oh, diamond gems in the centre. Oh, more gems. Oh no, I might have to do that. Flowers, diamond. Oh, wow. So much, so much, so much. As I was saying, sorry, I'm easily distracted. I really am very grateful for you joining me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you my love and passion for card making and all things paper, stamps and ink. You've challenged me, you've made me go outside of my comfort zone, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, this is the last one for 2022. I will not see you next week because it's Boxing Day and I shall be with my family. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and enjoy the holiday that you want. I hope you have a wonderful time with your families and friends. And if you have to work, I hope it's not too bad. Working on the holidays isn't nice, but it has to be done. We have to sometimes. First time watching today, it was lovely to watch. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Much appreciated. I will be back on the 2nd of January 2023. It might be a little noisy because I will have my grandson, who's 5 in February, and he just discovered the love of crafting. He made a train set out of cardstock and ink, and he discovered scoring. We had a ball yesterday. No, Saturday, I beg pardon. So that's it from me, and I'm sure that Jill, I can safely say from the bottom of both our hearts, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful holiday. Take care. Look forward to seeing you soon. Merry Christmas.